Hello friends. You know what they say in Boy Scout training? If you are prepared for bad things, those bad things never happen. I can tell you this is not true. You probably remember the episode I recently posted about the toolbox we carry with us when we fly away, and that toolbox has bits and pieces to replace the tire. Guess what? Last week we flew to a little airport in South Australia, and in the morning we found our airplane with a flat tire. Fortunately, we had a toolbox with all the things required to replace the tube. It is one thing when you have to do it in the comfort of your hangar, and it is totally different story if you have to do it in the open field under the hot sun with just grass or dirt around you with minimum tools in your flight bag. That experience taught us a few lessons, and I would like to share it with you. The main lesson we took out of this experience is make sure you have right tools. Double, triple check the tools that you have actually fit. We screwed up a little bit with that. One of the Allen key, like this little thing, was not the right size to split the rims. Fortunately, Aldinga airport had maintenance hangar open, and good people from that hangar gave us right size key. Lesson number 2, make sure you have a few plastic bags to put all your bits and pieces in. Because when you disassemble something, you have lots of small parts, nuts and bolts, and with grass or sand around you, it is very easy to lose a nut or a washer, and you will spend hours trying to find it. So plastic bags are a really good thing to have. Also, if they're big enough, you can use them as a mat to disassemble components. So I'm going to have 3 or 4, maybe 10 plastic bags like this for the future. Third lesson, make sure you have a few sheets of paper towel. Quite a few things get very dirty when you disassemble, and you want to clean them up before you put things together. Also, paper towel can be used as a mat when you disassemble parts and you want to put them on something reasonably clean rather than on sand or grass. So this is a very useful thing, and I'm going to have a few sheets of it in my flight bag now. Lesson number 4, make sure you have a tire pressure gauge in your toolbox. It might not be super critical, but it is a good idea to check the tire pressure before you go flying. We were lucky we could borrow tire pressure gauge from aircraft maintenance facility at Aldinga, but for the next time I'm going to have one in my tool bag. Okay, what worked well? The jack stand and the bobbin worked really well. Even though the plane was parked on a slope, it was pretty stable. I must admit, Dina was guarding the plane all the time while I was working on the tire, because passing planes were trying to challenge the stand with the prop blast. The bicycle pump I have in the toolbox worked very well. This pump is light and has enough capacity to inflate small tires of the airplane. It took me about 5 minutes to inflate the tire. However, the little bracket here that holds the pump to the ground is a little weak, and it fell off a couple of times while I was pumping. I had to try different hand positions to hold the pump to the ground to find the easiest way to pump the tire. Overall, it all worked out all right. We replaced the tire thanks to people from the maintenance facility at Aldinga. We spent about 1.5 hours replacing the tube in the tire. Probably next time it will be quicker. I'm not really looking forward for next time, but now we have experience in doing that. here's one interesting observation about the tube that developed the leak. On the side where the tube had the leak, the surface of the tube is darker than the other side. I think this is because the tires of RV-12, they're not sitting on the ground straight, they tilted a little bit, kinda inwards, and the wheel touched the ground mainly on this side of the wheel, not right in the middle, but a little bit on the outboard side of the wheel. So it looks like the tube developed some kind of motion inside the tire and eventually it developed a leak here. So I think it is a good idea for planes with landing gears like this to replace the tube from time to time, probably every 300-400 hours. They just need to be replaced, mainly because they will be worn out on one side and eventually they will develop the leak. We've been flying on this tube for 500 hours, so I guess that's about the limit for this tube for RV-12. I'm not sure what needs to be done to avoid wearing up the tube like this. If you have some ideas, please leave a comment under this video. This is all I wanted to tell you about our tire replacement adventure. Fly safe and see you next time.